Awesome. So this is another episode of the podcast, and today I have my good friend and poster boy Jay Hannah. So Jay, do you want to just tell the guys a little bit about yourself, what you do? That'd be good.
Yes. So, like myself, like Ben, sorry, I'm also from Belfast. I've now been in Dubai for just over 2 years, working in the commercial real estate sector. So, selling and renting offices mostly. Jumped on the academy with Ben at the turn of the year last year. So, it's been 12 straight good months on the program.
You probably wondered why you say poster boy. Jay done absolutely incredible, and he always wind me up saying, "I'm gonna be your poster boy. I'm gonna be here," and here we are. Here is a big success story. So, just to give the listeners a bit of an idea, what's a week in the life of Jay look like?
High paced,
Mm.
intense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, what would you say, demanding role.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of people to answer to.
Mm-hmm.
You've a lot of effort to try and make some deals and in turn make money. As I'm working in commission only, you're not working 9 to 5. You're working until you make money. So that could be late nights, aggressive weekend work, etc. In terms of the job, and then just going to the gym, mostly 4 days a week, maybe an additional day, depending on how I feel, and then reaping the rewards of the Dubai life,
And
reach clubs, etc.
was it that like attracted you to Dubai? Like, was it that career path? Was it like, right, I want to come here, do real estate, do really well for myself, or
Absolutely. I felt stuck in the UK. I went to Liverpool, studied for 3 years. Then I went home and studied a master's for a year. And even after being qualified, again, the opportunities and the money to be made at home just didn't seem appealing at all. The money you can make in Dubai in your first year in real estate is maybe what someone has worked up a ladder for 20 years to make in the UK. And they think they're in a good position, but I just knew I was broke. I was 23. I was sitting with 2 degrees and I needed to make some cash. And Dubai just seemed very attractive.
The rewards can be very rewarding.
Yeah.
But what's the percentage? Because like I know people say it's like 90% or 99%, or most people you come out, try that, and then they just don't crack it. Like, it's tough, isn't it?
It's not easy at all. Absolutely not easy. I think that's why people feel as well. They think that money just falls out of the sky. If that was the case, everyone would be a millionaire. Everyone would be very, very wealthy and wouldn't need to work. People just come out here and fall into the Dubai trap. They think they're in a 9 to 5 job. They think that they can log off at 4 or 5 o'clock and they're going to make money. They'll maybe go out on the piss, play around beach clubs, and probably enjoy Dubai way too sooner than what they should have. I kind of done it the other way around. Wanted to progress my career, make money, stabilize my life. I had a lot on the line. I came out here, so I had to prove to myself, and I also didn't want to go home with my bags packed. You don't want to look like a failure. So that was always in my mind. But I think people just they don't give it their all, and they think they're still on a salary job when it's not a job. It's more of a lifestyle.
I remember because we were chatting before Dubai, and you were telling me like, "Oh, I'm coming out to Dubai and stuff." And then I remember that time we caught up, and you, as you said, you were in peak fitness there.
Yeah.
But then obviously it wasn't probably there the year after where you joined the academy. Now, in that sort of gap in that year, like, tell me about that, because I can imagine that was the year where it was high pressure, it was, long hours, like, yeah.
Before I came to Dubai, as you said, I was training. I was smashing Muay Thai. I was doing loads of 1-to-1s. I was hitting high intensity strength and conditioning classes. Like, I was absolutely yoked, the best shape I've ever been in. And then fast forward 12 months, I was like the Michelin man.
Yeah. But it was the career, wasn't it?
It was, mate. I feel like I was putting a lot more pressure on myself than I probably needed to.
Okay.
Putting myself under stress, pressure. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's going to be stress and pressure, but I think I just intensified it for no real needed reason. I was over caffeinating. My energy was shit. I wasn't planning correctly. I was maybe waking up zombified because I caffeinated so much. I'm so stressed the day before, constantly thinking about money or deals or am I going to survive in Dubai? Whereas if I had just maybe took a step back and just been like, right, relax, it's going to come. You're working hard. Take a breath. I probably wouldn't have got so out of shape and so away from the person I was before I moved here. I don't get me wrong, there was a benefit because obviously I leveled up my career and it wasn't all bad, but in terms of my physicality and my stress levels, it wasn't good.
So like it had that springboard effect, like you had to put the work in, but it had an expense of your lifestyle, your health and things.
Absolutely.
But then would you say this year was the year where you were able to progress both?
Yeah, I had structure. I had plans. I was able to reflect on the year before, you know, but a program sitting there. The gym helps me de-stress. I realize that coffee isn't your best friend at 6 o'clock, but 6 o'clock on Tuesday, it's just going to ruin the rest of the week. So yeah, bro, it's good. But I think if I was to give anyone advice before coming here, it's absolutely work your ass off. Don't think it's going to be easy, but also don't be so hard on yourself. Like, money doesn't fall out of the sky, and sometimes you can be 110% of a professional, but it's not always in your hands. You know, you can't make someone buy something. You can be a salesman and you can try your very hardest, but at the end of the day, it's out of your hands sometimes.
If you just follow the process and you do the work, it'll come. It's
Yeah.
like it comes back to the means. Like I remember you saying there's like you done 100 calls or something every day, and it's like, you know, if I do that, then you had numbers. You were like, right, this comes back. You know,
100%.
the reason why I wanted to, you know, ask on that, because like, you know, there comes a time where work just needs to be number one. You
Yeah.
know, but if it's number one for so long, it comes at the expense of how you look and how you feel.
100%.
And what has been amazing from my side as your coach, but also a really good friend, is both have now progressed.
Yeah.
So what do you put that down to?
That's the program structure, honestly. Like, I've learned a lot about myself this year, as I've told you numerous times, like just stress management, you know, how much pressure I put on myself, trying to just think with clarity. Then also being able to use the gym as a tool to blow off steam. I'm never a morning guy. I think I've tried to force the gym in the mornings. I'll maybe go 3 in a row, and then by Thursday I can't get out of bed. So I've just accepted the gym's best for me after work, but I think it helps me unwind, blow off steam, and then I got a good night's sleep. So more just a routine, bro, to be honest. Having structure, knowing I've smashed the gym 4 days a week, I'm counting calories. I've just got goals and I've got things to keep constantly working towards, instead of just kind of winging it
I hear you.
and stress eating and drinking loads of caffeine and just feeling like shit.
And tell me this, what, in that first year when work was really busy, but the health and fitness slipped, what excuse were you telling yourself?
I'm just trying to survive in Dubai. It was like
Okay.
the stereotypical Dubai stone, but
Yeah.
you're all about Dubai 3 stone.
And how did you shift that the second year?
Just self-reflection, bro, to be honest. You know, just dissect it. Me and Tegan actually went on a holiday to Thailand at the end of last year, and I was just looking at myself in the mirror being like, Jesus Christ, right, you've done well this year in real estate. Time to actually get back to J.
Was it a case of avoidance, or you just like, you know, a case of you just woke up and it's like, fuck, it's got this bad?
Bro, literally looked in the mirror in Thailand and was like, holy shit, I look like Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I don't know if it was like exaggerated because I was full of beer and carbohydrates in Thailand. I've having chang for breakfast and eating yellow curries all day, but I just looked in the mirror, I was like, holy shit.
That's generally like very common, where, you know, you're maybe being in shape in your early 20s, but then work takes over, life takes over, family takes over, and one day you wake up and you're like, I'm not at my prime, I'm not at my peak.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know, that's where we get you back to it. Like,
Yeah.
as you say, with structure, with systems, with accountability, with support, that's the thing that gets you back. But like, you know, I know you've tried a few other solutions before. What was different and made it really crack this time with this solution?
As I said, I've always been in incredible shape or completely out of shape. I'm always like a 100 or a 0 or a 100 mile per hour person. Like, there was never just consistent flow. So numerous times in my life I've been fat, and then I've gotten in sick shape, and then I've went, right, I'm in good shape again, and then the good habits start to dwindle away, and then before you know it, I'm a fat shit again, and it's just up and down. It's like yo-yo dieting, lifestyle, training, everything. Whereas just constantly staying on the program. Like I even said to you the other day, I was like, I never see a reason not to have you as a coach. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's just there, it's easy. We're always like compounding every single week, trying to make marginal gains, and it's just good to have the system constantly.
The way I describe it to people is, you know, imagine structure is like a bookshelf.
Yeah.
If you don't have the shelf, the books fall apart. So then it's like, imagine books are like your responsibilities and yourself. It's like, if there's no structure, it just
Yeah.
it falls apart. And it's like, once you have that structure, it removes as well, like, you no stranger to the gym, you're a machine. For anyone that knows Jay Strong, he's fit, you know, I train with Jay sometimes, and, you know, fucking, like, I can't keep up with him. It's not a case of not knowing what to do, it's a case of putting it all together.
Yeah.
Or, like, getting the thinking, because, I mean, I can imagine, you know, you're thinking about a million and one things every day, the amount of communication, people that you're talking to, things that you've got going on.
Literally. And again, it takes away the thought of me. You know, I go in, the application's sitting there. Here's my block of training for the next 12 or 16 weeks. Here's what I did last week. Gauge the numbers. Do I feel good today or do I feel like shit? okay, I feel great, I'm going to push along last week's numbers, try and go heavier. Not feeling the best, I'll just try and match last week and try and hit the same things again.
And on that point, mate, like, as men, we all face pressure,
Yeah.
you know, and we all face financial pressure, providing, work pressure, all this. How do you manage that and not let yourself slip anymore?
Probably the gym, mate, to be
Yeah.
honest. Training is something for me that keeps me very level-headed. And again, if I had done that in year one of Dubai and stayed on top of the training, I probably wouldn't have been so stressed and putting so much pressure on myself. But I couldn't ever think of I could free up an hour of my day to go and train. Like, work was more important.
You didn't allow yourself, was it the case?
Yeah, I could be working right now, or I need to be working. You know, using this time more effectively. But if I probably had went to the gym, I probably would have worked better the rest of the week.
Do you feel like you were working yourself blunt?
Literally. I was working myself zombified, bro, and then I was going home and I can even remember stressing and dreaming about the job. So caffeinated. Like, I'm working, like, I'm thinking about things that are happening in work. Dreaming about work all night in a minute of sleep, waking up, feeling like shit and going back into work again.
Do you think more men need interventions like this?
100%. And you can be, as a man, you can be a bit of a Mr. Know-it-all at times as well. Like, there's even been piece of advice that people have maybe give me 1, 2, 3 years ago, and I've like just let it bounce off my forehead. And then this year, as I've learned a lot about myself, I'm like, I literally got told this 3 years ago.
Yeah, I've like
For caffeination and all. I'm like, fuck me, it's only coffee. What are you talking about? This year, I'm like, coffee's mad. Like, you don't need to be drinking 4 flat whites a day. It's not normal behavior. You always have friends who are like, I know you're getting strong and you're getting into the gym and all, but like, you want to be progressively overloading the same things. Just basic information that you just think, whatever. Like, I'm all right. But then when you start to do it, you practice it and you perfect it, you're like, Jesus Christ, like, I've knew this for so long, but just never actually put it into practice.
And how did you become more open? Because it sounds like, you know, you got that information, but you were a bit fixed. Whereas now you've been a lot more open-minded to taking it on board, integrating it, see the importance in it.
When you see the proof in the pudding from your own life, you prove to yourself, wow, this isn't bullshit. This is actually, like, effective.
The reason why I say that, mate, is like I said, you do. It's not a case of not knowing. You know, you've got great knowledge. You've been in fitness all your life.
Yeah.
But it's a case of, I need this order myself. I'm going to realize, right, this actually, like right now, we've been working a lot more on like, not just ramming up the bar and like loads of weight, but being a little bit more strategic with when we do it and get stronger and things, you know? And like, I even know myself, mate, 10 years ago, when I was powerlifting, it was just, you know, it was just sheer load. It was, you know, but I think as you get older as men, you need to be that more open.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? What would you say to old Jay that was a little bit more stubborn and not as open?
Just be a bit more level-headed.
Yeah.
As I said, it's always like not the 100, nowhere in between. And then when I'm on that 100-mile-an-hour train, I'm like 7 days a week, I must train. Not accepting it, like, take a day off. Like, even this year, it was like, take an actual recovery day. Like, I was going out and running 10K on my rest day. And then I'm wondering why my body's nearly broke by Tuesday. Whereas, like, just chill out. Do you know what I mean? All you need to do is chill. When you're smashing the gym and you're going 100 miles an hour, take a rest day.
Yeah.
Don't throw up weight that you can't manage. Own the weight. Lift the same thing for 3 weeks instead of throwing it up 1 week and then trying to go heavier next and you're like breaking in half. And just, even when you're maybe not even on the gym again, and just stop being so intense for like drinking and partying and messing about and eating shit food and having no routine and just, do you know what I mean?
And
Just balance.
what would you say, like, you know, has allowed for you to get that balance, that consistency?
I think once I got to the position I was in this job and in the Dubai life, like after getting to the end of last year, I was like, right, this is me. I know I'm not going home. I'm capable of doing this job now. I need to sharpen the tools and make sure I'm healthier. I'm less stressed. I'm in the gym and I'm better in this career as well. And that's what's happened. You know, 3 times my income from last year.
Yeah.
While stripping off 13 kilo of body fat. I've beefed up a bit more, still fit. Feeling this is the strongest I've ever been in my life in terms of the numbers I'm lifting in the gym. So,
and how has all this made you better at your job?
stress management, bro. To be honest,
Yeah.
dieting, even reactions to certain foods, like just everything. Having like cutoffs before bed, having caffeine cut off during the day, which means I'm going into deeper sleep. I'm recovering better. I'm going into work lit up. I've got good energy. I'm coming into work feeling good, ready to smash the day instead of being glued to my bed.
Would you say before, because I know, like, before we started working, you were doing, like, you've done a few different phases and whatnot. Would you say that they were, like, body transformation, but this was more high performance. Like, you know, you had the body, but also the energy and the focus and the clarity and structure.
100%. It wasn't just like fitness. It wasn't just like that's getting this shape. It was just a full reconfiguration of my lifestyle. You know what I mean? Finding balance, but being able to just consistently get better week by week instead of going intense, as you said, 16-week cut. Wow, he's in great shape, and then just falling off a bandwagon again straight away. This year's just been consistent.
What would your, like, you know, clients have noticed about you? Like when you're talking to them, how you're conducting yourself from all this?
Probably just a bit more level-headed.
Yeah.
You know, in Dubai, in this job, again, you're in commission only. You come with every penny you have. If you run out of money, you ran out of your life savings, and you've come home with your ass spanked with no money, and you're back unemployed looking for a job. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of pressure on you anyway.
Yeah.
But in regard to that, people can seem very desperate in how they're speaking. They can maybe be trying to make clients uncomfortable, trying to close them into positions or deals that maybe you wouldn't be trying to close them into if you have financial backing, if you weren't desperate for cash. So when you've built a bumper, you've got your investments, you're living life, you're not struggling. Like you could go maybe a month without a deal and you know, I'm not broke, I've got money, I'm okay. You think with more clarity, you speak more professionally, you're less desperate, you know, it's not pushy, it's just complete advisory. Try to get it done.
You have went from Belfast to making this big leap where you don't know where your next paycheck's coming from.
Yeah.
That takes serious balls. Because there's so many people that maybe have that stable income, maybe have, you know, they've got everything pretty safe, but they're still struggling to get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
How did you make that leap? Like, what did you mentally tell yourself to be like, whoa, I'm going to do that?
Obviously, I already mentioned being qualified and not having money, but it was more just like reviewing the peers around me, you know, looking at the situation at home. I'm a working class guy, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never came from crazy amounts of money. Anyone in my family's always worked their asses off to get to where they've been. But just the situation at home, you know, I just don't feel like you can change your life as much at home as you can in Dubai. Dubai is just the land of opportunity.
Did you just think, right, I know, like, I can change? Like, you just would like grab life by the balls and you were just like, right, I'm going to do it.
I really needed more.
Yeah.
Like even when I was doing the Masters in Real Estate at Ulster University,
Yeah.
the uni would set up like courses where you would go and join CBRE, Savills, Cushman and Wakefield as like a graduate surveyor. You do your APC, you work up the ladder for 15 years, you maybe be making 70 to 100,000 sterling at the age of, I would have been what, 40? I was just like, this isn't that, I'm never going to break free from just kind of feeling like living paycheck to paycheck. Do you know what I mean? So I just knew I wanted more. I needed more. So yeah, that was the main motivation, bro. Just reviewing the situation at home, coming back from Liverpool, spending a year there, then looking at the opportunities after getting qualified again and being like, I'm so stuck. Like nothing's appealing. This lifestyle at home isn't appealing. I was considering going back to Liverpool. I was like, I'll go back to Liverpool, but I'll still be in the same financial situation.
And did you just start researching?
I started to look it up, yeah.
You start researching like on the internet, what's out there, different things, and then you got down this path, and
It was like a running joke at the first. People were like, sure, Jay's going to Dubai. I'm not joking. People were like, oh, you're full of shit. Sure, Jay's going to Dubai, even in the uni class. Because bro, before I even got my qualification, I was like, I'm going to Dubai. Like, I wouldn't sign up for any graduate surveyor schemes. Wouldn't do work experience. I was like, I have no interest in being here. And they were like, oh, sure, Jay's going to Dubai. But then as it came up, I was like, I'm actually going. Everyone was like, shit, this dude's leaving. You actually going? It was mad.
Well, can you notice a common theme here? You know, you notice that there's an element that is just like irritating you a bit.
Yeah.
And it irritates you to a point where you like, right, you put your hand up and you're stuck.
Yeah.
And only seek a solution.
Literally.
And it's like, you know, that was your lifestyle before coming here. That was then obviously like, you know, pushing your career, but then you realize, whoa, my body's stuck.
Yeah.
And then now, even like this year, it's like, I've got the body, I'm getting stronger and stuff, but now I need to make sure I'm moving well. I need to make sure I can, you know, deadlift when I'm 50. Like, but the thing is, and that's why I asked you, is it's like you've been open.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you probably know loads of friends that are like, they're so in denial.
Yeah.
And as men is like, you know, have egos and stuff.
100%.
What would you say to someone that needs to hand over the tools a bit and like, you know, maybe not, you know, maybe seek outside support?
Just have a bit of self-faith, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Just try and be better, less pressure on yourself, and just kind of feel like you can accomplish things if you put your mind to it. Like nothing I've done's out of reach for any other person to do. Genuinely. I tell my boys at home all the time, friends, people who I'm maybe not as close with, but I maybe went to school with or I've bumped into. They're like, oh, you're doing so well. And I'm like, bro, honestly, like if you work hard, anyone can do it out here.
You keep saying pressure. Do you give yourself a hard time?
I would have before this year. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me more.
Just always pressure to do better,
Mm-hmm.
to get the money, to look good, to feel good, you know, just to kind of get out of the skint lifestyle. I've always worked hard. I always went to uni and then I qualified. I maybe have friends that didn't do a single bit of education after school and they're balling. They've got lovely cars. They're doing well with investments. So
Mm-hmm.
there's always like more pressure on me. I needed to go out, make money, just make something different in life.
And what was it that then shifted when you were like putting too much pressure? Like, how did you get the sweet spot right where it wasn't too much?
When I had financial backing, when I was in Dubai with a bumper of cash.
It's just like, right, I'm safe.
Yeah, genuinely.
Mm.
Like I'd achieved my lifeline. Like this is me. This isn't like a short stint where you'll either make it or you weren't. I've been here, I think at Christmas last year, I was there 14 months
Mm-hmm.
and I'm new at that stage. Like people come out here, I have made money. People come out here, they'll maybe buy a Rolex and they'll buy a lovely car. And then within 6 months they're home. Whereas I couldn't even spend money. I just still couldn't believe. I would think I need to even now, when I hadn't made a good couple of quid, I was like, I still even need to prove I'm actually not fluking this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually good at this job and show that there's consistency before I start to like treat myself or invest money in things. Unfortunately in sales, there is an element of luck. Like it is input, output, you know, put the work in and you will definitely get the results.
Mm.
But some people arrive here, they meet the right guy at the right time and boom, they've made silly money within 2-3 months. Now that's obviously a very super rare case of it.
Mm.
But I just wanted to prove to myself that you're good at this, you're going to be consistent at it, this is your new home. So I think once that was just clear, I had so much more clarity. I was able to just get reins back on life, fitness, financially, mentally. So yeah.
Did it affect your productivity not having health systems in place?
Yeah, absolutely. Just more clarity, thinking clearer. Not every day was like a stressful thought. It was like, this is what you could plan better, structure. Once you have structure in your fitness, I feel like you have structure in everything.
Mm-hmm.
You see everything as like a plan. You're always working towards something, you know, you can go into your day and maybe think I'm going to do X, Y, Z today. Whereas like, I think when you're a bit stressed, you don't even know where to start and you're just maybe blowing through or doing activities or certain things that maybe aren't even of benefit, but you can't actually think straight at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a bit lost in your approach.
How much weight did we lose in your first race?
13 kilo.
And it wasn't like you were really heavy, like, you know, it was, you weren't, you know, you were at a lowish body fat percentage and we got you absolutely ripped, as you would say.
Yeah.
But that can seem like a daunting task when you're already stressed.
Yeah.
So how did you get through that? Like, how did you, like, when you're already tired, low energy, a million and one tasks to do, like, how did you manage then to, like, go through the transformation even when...
Just kept telling myself who's going to carry the boats.
That's it, you know, that's it.
Do you know what I mean?
There is a moment where it's like, you know, it's only me and me.
Not to sound like a dick, but I just say, don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
Constantly. Just speak to yourself, like, stop being a fucking bitch. It works. It does work. How many days was it like, Ben, I'm starving and all, what are you doing to me here? I'm so hungry.
Right, you know, like...
You were like, you're on 2,400 calories, you're certainly not starving.
And you like, I was like, man, we've got only this time period and stuff, you know, to go. But yeah, like, do you feel some people are a bit too soft, they get a bit too complacent and they need that harder talk to get going?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And it's one thing getting in shape, but it's another thing staying in shape. And we talked this year about how, you know, before there would have been a huge difference, but you've been able to stay. That was the biggest thing you're happy with. How did you do that when you don't have a gratifying goal of, like, you know, a kilo a week, or, you know, how did you manage this year to keep it going the whole year?
It was just the education from the first phase of the program was more just being able to implement that for the rest of the year. You know, maybe I wasn't as aggressively dieting, but I've got a better relationship and understanding of particular foods. If I'm going to go out boozing at the weekend, don't be drinking 10 pints of beer, maybe have a few light fogas with light mixers, just making small changes and implementing them.
Jay really has, like, cracked down. He's smashing work, smashing training, and also enjoying himself on the weekends and having it. And, like, not many people can have that balance. Like, but you've done that through discipline too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you go on a Saturday, you'll tell me, Ben, I smashed 15k steps, or Ben, I went on a run, or Ben, I done this, or, you know, I lowered my calories to allow for a bit of a buffer on that day.
Yeah.
Like, not many people can do that.
I know. Beach club days, it was, we would have had a shake and a bit of protein in the mornings and then banked the calories.
Yeah.
I was starving until I got to the beach club. It was all right.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, you know, sometimes that you have to have that in order to enjoy. You can't enjoy everything, and otherwise, you hear me say it all the time, if you play too much, it comes at the expense of how you look and how you feel.
100%. Even the steps as well is a funny one you say. Like that's like on a Sunday, if we've had a heavy Saturday night, that's like a punishment. Genuine.
If you're big enough to drink, you're big enough to smash it out.
Literally, like the other week, I think me and Tegan were out all day Saturday drinking, and then Sunday we literally walked 15 kilometers on Kite Beach in the blistering sun.
Yeah.
It was grim.
Yeah.
Just like have to do it. We were bad all day yesterday, so
Yeah.
sweat it out, get moving.
And what was the moment like where you started to feel like this is clicking? You know, this is all starting to come together.
Probably at the end of the first phase.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was back on the saddle again. I knew I was back in shape. Everything was at a good level of understanding. So work was going really good at the start of the year. I had a smashing Q1. I was losing weight. It was looking good. People were complimenting me.
Love it, mate. And I'm going to ask you a bit of a hard question, right? If you get to this point,
yeah,
in half the time, how would you do it? To get to this level, since you come to Dubai and, you know, getting yourself in prime shape, getting yourself strong, obviously doing so well in the career, you do it in half the time, how would you do it?
Probably be a bit of a social recluse.
Okay.
To be completely honest. I like going out. I like clubs. I like dance music. I like raves. I like going and sitting with friends. You know, I like food. I'm a foodie. I love food. So like, for me, it would just cut off your life. Change your lifestyle just to be like a real indoors person, you know, 7 days a week work, not socializing, not doing this. Like I know we go and socialize in different ways, play a bit of paddle, kick a football about, but it's not quite the same as going out and doing other things.
Would there be any other things that you would do other than social?
Work and train more.
Yeah.
If I wasn't doing those other things, I'd probably be sleeping better as well.
Most people want to, because I ask that question to every single client, you know, when they've got to a certain level, most of them actually come back with, I would have put the foot on the gas a bit more, put it out harder. And it's like, that's what you said, like, you know, I probably would have cut back on socials or things, or done a bit more, or like, you know, when I ask that question, generally it's like, you know, do you need to be a bit tighter on my food or my thing? Actually push a bit more. Do you think you could have done a bit more?
Probably at the weekends and stuff, yeah. It's not even like I eat shit, I just love food, mate. It's more quantity than like bad food. Sat out like a huge roast dinner spread in front of me, I'd take it over any takeaway in the world. Like I love good cooked food, so maybe on the weekend I was maybe going a bit too high above calories at stages, but yeah.
To wrap things up, mate, you know, that Jay that's sitting there frazzled in Belfast, doesn't know where he's going, like not quite happy with things, doesn't know his next step, what would you tell him? What advice would you give him?
Get better with hard work. Sometimes you hit the crossbar 3 times before you score a goal. You know, I constantly had the crossbar rattled, kept thinking I was doing the right thing through uni, through different things, jobs, careers. Sometimes people get it on the first decision to make, sometimes people make 10 decisions, so you just have to keep pushing. You know what I mean? Life's unpredictable, but if you keep working and just keep innovating, things will drop, the penny will drop.
Love it. And Jay, what is it, I know you mentioned real estate quite vaguely, but what is it you do with real estate? Like what type of, where do you work? What do you do? Like, yeah.
I work in commercial real estate. Commercial real estate's basically made up of office space, industrial space, so warehouse, storage, logistics, and then retail, which is anything from a shop to F&B, which is food and beverage, to nightclubs, to a clothes shop, to retail, etc. Primarily, I would say 95, maybe even more, 95% of my work since I've been here has been offices. I just like it, you know. Commercial real estate for me is a lot less emotional. We're not thinking about my children were raised in this house, so I automatically think it's worth X amount more money. There's very less emotion. It's just about number crunching. Does this fit in the company's budget? Would I rather buy than rent? How long am I going to be in this size of space before I scale a business, etc.?
What makes you different than the other real estate agents?
I'm a straight talker. There's no fluff with me. I like, not to even blow me on trumpet, I can very confidently say that. Again, it goes back to the desperation and the commission only. People just chat shit so bad in this industry. They tell lies, they misinform, they pull their pants down and work for free, work for no commission, and it just kind of ruins it for everyone else. I'm just a straight talker, you know. I don't want to waste anyone's time. I don't want to waste my time. So I just straight to the point, direct. I think people like that about me.
Well, guys, I'm going to put Jay's social media and stuff, and you can get in contact with him, anything Dubai related, below. But it has been absolutely class to help you, mate. And, you know, for anyone listening, like, I really do want you to take inspiration from this. You know, Jay you know, just wanted better. Was in Belfast, wanted better, wanted a different life for himself, wanted to get stronger, fitter, and things. And you know, he just searched. He searched the internet. He went online. He just knew. He didn't quite know where, but he knew there was something. And there's a lot of faith that you can take from it. There's a lot of, you know, that ambition. I hope that this lights that up in you. Then, of course, you know, from this, you know, like he put himself through the mill and the body slipped. He soon realized it, but he was quick. He took a year. Too many men do decades, where he caught it fast and then he reached out. And since then, you know, the get go, like he said, he was hard on himself. The first 4 months, it was intense, you know, to get him in control and to get him in the driving seat. But now he's consistent. He's in great shape. He enjoys himself. Bit too much at times, but you know, he's able to find that balance between personal, going out to the odd beach club, having a bit of fun, professional, you know, this has been the best year of his life, as he said, professionally, but then also as well physically. The guy's an absolute unit. He looks great. So, like, you know, there is a period where you do need to realize, right, I can push hard at a sacrifice my body, but it'll catch up. At some point, you're going to need to use, like, the body. You're going to need to get the structure, the health systems in place.
Pleasure, mate. It's been absolutely class. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.